Corruption is a deep-rooted problem in Jamaica. It is a pervasive issue that has infiltrated various aspects of life on the island, affecting not just the political and economic spheres, but also the social fabric of the nation. It affects all levels of society, from everyday interactions to the highest offices of power. Whether it's a small bribe to expedite a service or large-scale embezzlement by public officials, corruption has become a normalized part of life for many Jamaicans. This issue has plagued Jamaica for decades, hindering its progress and undermining its potential. The roots of corruption can be traced back to colonial times, where power dynamics and economic disparities laid the groundwork for systemic corruption. The consequences of corruption are far-reaching, impacting economic growth, eroding public trust and fueling social inequalities. Businesses suffer due to unfair practices, and the general public loses faith in institutions meant to serve them. Despite attempts to combat corruption, it remains a persistent challenge. Various administrations have promised reforms and launched anti-corruption campaigns. Yet the problem persists, often due to lack of enforcement and accountability. The pervasiveness of this issue demands a comprehensive understanding of its scope and underlying causes. It requires a multifaceted approach that includes legal reforms, public education, and international cooperation. Only then can effective solutions be implemented to address this systemic problem. Grassroots movements and community engagement are crucial in fostering a culture of transparency and accountability. Jamaica's struggle with corruption is not unique, as many countries face similar challenges. However, the specific historical, cultural, and economic context of Jamaica makes its battle with corruption particularly complex. However, the depth and persistence of this issue in Jamaica necessitate a closer examination. Understanding the unique factors that contribute to corruption in Jamaica can help in crafting more effective strategies to combat it. The case of the Petrojam scandal, a blatant display of corruption within the state-owned oil refinery, serves as a stark reminder of the challenges Jamaica faces. This scandal involved high-level officials and significant financial mismanagement, highlighting the urgent need for reform. This essay aims to delve into the complexities of corruption in Jamaica, using the Petrojam scandal as a case study. By examining the intricacies of this scandal, we can uncover the systemic issues that allow such corruption to thrive. By examining the history, scope, and impact of this scandal, we can gain valuable insights into the broader issue of corruption in the country. Understanding these dynamics is the first step towards meaningful change and the creation of a more just and equitable society for all Jamaicans.
The Petrojam scandal, which came to light in 2018, shook Jamaica to its core. It was a revelation that not only exposed the deep-seated corruption within the state-owned oil refinery, but also highlighted the systemic issues plaguing the nation's governance. It exposed the deep-seated corruption within the state-owned oil refinery, Petrojam. The refinery, which was supposed to be a pillar of the nation's energy sector, became a symbol of mismanagement and greed. The scandal involved allegations of widespread mismanagement, over-invoicing, unaccounted funds, lavish spending on non-business-related activities, and blatant nepotism. These activities were not just isolated incidents, but part of a broader culture of corruption that had taken root within the organization. The scandal unfolded with an Auditor General's report that revealed significant irregularities within Petrojam's operations. The report was a damning indictment of the company's practices, detailing how funds were misappropriated and how oversight mechanisms failed to catch these discrepancies. The report exposed a pattern of financial mismanagement, questionable contracts, and a blatant disregard for proper procurement procedures. It highlighted how contracts were awarded without competitive bidding, leading to inflated costs and substandard services. These revelations sparked public outrage and led to a parliamentary inquiry. The people of Jamaica took to the streets, demanding accountability and transparency from their leaders. As the inquiry progressed, a clearer picture of the scandal emerged. Testimonies from whistleblowers and former employees painted a grim picture of the internal workings of Petrojam. Key figures within Petrojam, including the then energy minister, were implicated in corrupt practices. Their involvement underscored the extent to which corruption had permeated the highest levels of government. The inquiry uncovered instances of contracts awarded without proper bidding processes, inflated invoices for goods and services, and questionable payments to individuals with close ties to those in power. These findings were a stark reminder of the need for robust oversight and accountability mechanisms. The Petrojam scandal sent shockwaves through Jamaican society. It was a wake-up call for many, highlighting the urgent need for reform and the importance of integrity in public office. It not only highlighted the extent of corruption within a vital state-owned entity, but also eroded public trust in the government's ability to manage its affairs effectively. The scandal became a rallying point for citizens demanding change and greater accountability from their leaders. The scandal's impact extended beyond Petrojam, casting a shadow over the entire energy sector and raising concerns about corruption in other government agencies. It served as a stark reminder of the need for vigilance and transparency in all areas of governance, ensuring that such a breach of trust would never happen again.
The economic repercussions of corruption, particularly the Petrojam scandal, have been profound for Jamaica. This scandal, which involves significant mismanagement and embezzlement, has not only drained the nation's financial resources, but also eroded public trust in governmental institutions. The direct financial losses resulting from these corrupt activities have placed a significant strain on the country's already struggling economy. Businesses that once thrived are now abandoned, and factories that were once bustling with activity now stand empty and in disrepair. Corruption acts as a hidden tax on businesses, discouraging investment and stifling economic growth. Small business owners find it increasingly difficult to sustain their operations, leading to closures and job losses. The frustration is palpable among entrepreneurs who see their dreams shattered by an environment rife with corruption. The lack of transparency and accountability creates an unpredictable business environment, making Jamaica less attractive to foreign investors. Potential investors who could bring much-needed capital and expertise are deterred by the risks associated with corrupt practices. This loss of potential investment translates into fewer jobs, reduced economic activity, and slower overall growth. Unemployment rates rise as construction projects halt and businesses close, leaving many Jamaicans without a source of income. Furthermore, corruption undermines the government's ability to provide essential services to its citizens. Hospitals are overwhelmed, with long lines of patients waiting for care, and schools are left in a state of disrepair, unable to provide a proper education for the next generation. When funds are siphoned off through corrupt means, there is less money available for crucial sectors such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Roads remain riddled with potholes, and classrooms are filled with broken desks, creating an environment that hinders learning and development. This underfunding of essential services perpetuates a cycle of poverty and inequality, hindering Jamaica's overall development. Children growing up in impoverished neighborhoods face limited opportunities, and families struggle to make ends meet in dilapidated housing conditions. The economic fallout from corruption is a heavy burden on the Jamaican people. Families are left distressed, relying on soup kitchens for their next meal, and the hope for a better future seems increasingly out of reach. It undermines their livelihoods, limits their opportunities, and perpetuates a system where progress is hampered by greed and a lack of accountability. The voices of the people rise in protest, demanding change and a future free from the chains of corruption.
Corruption's insidious reach extends beyond the economic realm, deeply impacting the social fabric of Jamaican society. The erosion of trust is perhaps the most damaging consequence. When citizens witness rampant corruption, they lose faith in their leaders, institutions, and even in each other. This breakdown of trust creates a climate of cynicism and apathy, making it difficult to address societal challenges collectively. People become less willing to engage in civic activities or participate in the democratic process, fearing that their efforts will be in vain. Moreover, corruption exacerbates existing social inequalities. When those in power abuse their positions for personal gain, it creates a system where opportunities and resources are unfairly distributed. This perpetuates a cycle of poverty and disadvantage, disproportionately affecting the most vulnerable segments of society. The social ramifications of corruption are far-reaching, eroding the very foundations of a just and equitable society. It fosters a climate of mistrust, undermines social cohesion, and perpetuates inequality.
Section 5. Political instability, a nation divided. The political landscape of Jamaica has been deeply affected by the scourge of corruption. Scandals like Petrojam erode public trust in government institutions and fuel a sense of disillusionment with the political process. When citizens perceive that their leaders are more interested in self-enrichment than serving the public good, it creates a breeding ground for cynicism and apathy. This can lead to low voter turnout, political instability, and a weakening of democratic institutions. Furthermore, corruption can exacerbate existing political divisions. When political parties and leaders are perceived as being corrupt, it undermines their legitimacy and hinders constructive dialogue. This can lead to political gridlock, as opposing sides become more entrenched in their positions and less willing to compromise. The corrosive effects of corruption on Jamaica's political system are undeniable. It undermines public trust, fuels instability, and hinders the country's ability to address pressing challenges effectively.
To truly understand the pervasive nature of corruption in Jamaica, we must delve into its roots. Historical, social, and economic factors have all played a part in creating an environment where corruption can thrive. By examining these elements, we can begin to identify the underlying issues that need to be addressed.
Over the years, we have implemented several measures to combat corruption. These include stricter laws, transparency initiatives, and greater accountability within public offices. However, the journey is far from over.
Yes, while progress has been made, there are still significant pitfalls. Many of these measures are not enforced effectively, and corruption continues to be a major issue. We need more robust systems and genuine political will to see real change.
For a brighter future, we need to start with education. Teaching the younger generation about the importance of integrity and the dangers of corruption is crucial. Additionally, there should be stronger support for whistleblowers and more stringent penalties for those found guilty of corrupt practices.
Jamaica, the land of reggae and sunshine, has a dirty little secret oil. We depend on this stuff. It powers our homes, our businesses, our lives. But here's the catch. We import almost all of it. That's right. We're at the mercy of other countries for our energy. And that's a problem. Why? Because where there's oil, there's often trouble. Scandals, corruption, the kind of stuff that can sink a small island nation. Think about it. Oil money is a powerful drug. It can tempt even the most honest politician. And when those in charge get greedy, the people suffer. We're talking higher energy prices, fewer jobs, and a polluted environment. Not exactly the paradise we're known for, but hey, don't lose hope just yet. Jamaica is resilient. We've faced challenges before and we've come out stronger. The key is to learn from our mistakes, to demand better from our leaders, and to fight for a cleaner, more sustainable future. This ain't just about oil, people. It's about the soul of Jamaica. Let's talk money, shall we? Oil scandals are bad for business, like really bad. Imagine this. Your government blows millions on a shady oil deal. That's money gone. Poof, money that could have built schools, hospitals, roads, you know, the stuff that actually helps people. And it gets worse. When scandals hit, investors get spooked. They see Jamaica as a risky bet, so they take their money elsewhere. Goodbye foreign investment, goodbye jobs. Hello economic downturn. But wait, there's more. Remember how we import most of our oil? Well, scandals can disrupt supply chains. That means less oil available, which drives up prices. So now you're paying more to fill up your tank, more to power your home. It's a lose-lose situation, unless you're the one pocketing the oil money, of course. Oil scandals don't just hurt our wallets, they rip apart the social fabric of Jamaica. Imagine this. You're struggling to make ends meet. You're working 2 jobs, but you can barely put food on the table. And then you find out your government is wasting millions on corrupt oil deals. How would you feel? Angry? Betrayed? Ready to march in the streets? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oil scandals breed resentment and distrust. They create a climate of anger and frustration. And that's a recipe for social unrest, protests, demonstrations, people demanding justice. It's enough to make Bob Marley turn in his grave. And the worst part, the people who suffer the most are often the most vulnerable, the poor, the marginalized, the ones who are already struggling to get by. We all know Jamaica for its stunning beauty, pristine beaches, lush rainforests, crystal clear waters. But oil scandals threaten to turn this paradise into a polluted wasteland. Think about it. A major oil spill could devastate our coastline, killing marine life and destroying our tourism industry. And it's not just spills we have to worry about. Oil exploration and extraction can damage sensitive ecosystems, pollute our air and water, and contribute to climate change. Remember those beautiful coral reefs? Gone. The endangered species that call Jamaica home, wiped out. The long-term consequences are terrifying. We're talking about jeopardizing the health of our people and the future of our planet. Section 5, governance, gone wrong, the roots of Jamaica's oil problems. So how did we get here? How did Jamaica become so vulnerable to oil scandals? Well, it's complicated, but let's just say our governance could use some work. Weak regulations, lack of transparency, a system that's wide open to abuse. Think of it like a house with leaky pipes and a crumbling foundation. It's only a matter of time before something goes wrong. We need to fix the system, people. We need stronger laws, stricter enforcement, and a whole lot more accountability. And it's not just about punishing the bad guys, it's about preventing these scandals from happening in the first place. We need to change the way we do business. We need to put the interests of the people first. Section 6. Plugging the leaks. Strategies to prevent oil scandals. All right, enough with the doom and gloom. Let's talk solutions. How do we stop these oil scandals from happening again? It's going to take a multi-pronged approach. Think of it like a good Jamaican jerk recipe. You need the right ingredients in the right proportions. First up, transparency. We need to shine a light on the oil industry. Open up the books. Let the people see where the money's going. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, as they say. Next, accountability. We need to hold our leaders responsible for their actions. No more getting away with corruption. If you're caught with your hand in the cookie jar, you're going to jail. And of course, we need to diversify our energy sources. Let's invest in renewable energy, solar, wind, hydro. Let's break free from our dependence on oil. Section 7. Power to the people. Jamaica's fight for a cleaner future. This isn't just a job for the government, though. We, the people, have a role to play. We need to demand better from our leaders. We need to hold them accountable. We need to make our voices heard. Join community groups, attend town hall meetings, write to your elected officials. Let them know that we won't stand for corruption. Let them know that we want a cleaner, more sustainable future for Jamaica. Remember, every voice matters. Together we can make a difference. Section 8. A brighter future. Benefits of reform for Jamaica. Imagine a Jamaica free from oil scandals. A Jamaica where the economy is booming, the environment is pristine, and the people are thriving. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, it's not a pipe dream. By implementing the reforms we've discussed, we can create a brighter future for Jamaica. We can attract foreign investment, create jobs, and improve our standard of living. We can protect our environment, preserve our natural beauty, and mitigate the effects of climate change. Section 9. Jamaica's crossroads. A call for action. We stand at a crossroads, Jamaica. One path leads to corruption, environmental degradation, and social unrest. The other path leads to a brighter future, a future where we prioritize transparency, sustainability, and the well-being of all Jamaicans. The choice is ours. Let's choose wisely. Let's demand better. Let's fight for the future we deserve. Let's show the world that Jamaica is not for sale. Jamaica is a force for good. Jamaica is a beacon of hope. Jamaica is unstoppable.